Said a little something, something. Gives us a little something. So this is going to be a quick 10-minute Q&A.
Will it though?
Yeah, it will be. Which is a little 10-minute-er. All right, guys. Question answers. What do you guys want to ask? Got lucky to go earlier.
See the difference.
Color-wise? Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Hey there. What's going on? I do like how the yellow pops on this.
Yellow.
So this.
Yellow goes crazy.
So would that need to? No, because the eyes are yellow.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I tried it.
I don't know. I think just.
Cool.
I like this.
Cool.
I like it. Happy Halloween as well. Happy Halloween. Are you guys ready for the new year? Are you guys, anybody out there thinking about really putting the gas price or the gas pedal down and start getting gas price down?
I'm ready for the gas price down too, though.
I think we're all ready for that. But are you ready to put it full metal to the plate, or what do they say? Foot to the
pedal to the metal?
Put the pedal to the metal. There we go. Or what was the put the foot to the? I don't know.
That's
right. Anyways, anybody else out there thinking like it is time to get going for New Year's? I know maybe a lot of you don't think that way. You think when I get to New Year's, then I'll turn and burn. I always, and if you know me, you know that I always like to go crazy for New Year's and to be in crazy shape. Anybody else out there do that now? So curious to know if you guys are doing that. Little Khaleesi on there. Little werewolf action. What do you guys think? Nice little werewolf action. Jeff, do you want to check one thing?
Yeah.
You want to check the reel format or the squares on the reel format? On what we're getting in the box, what we're not getting in the box. Keep asking those questions. I love it.
It's what it was.
Okay, good.
Light. That's how it was earlier. If you move,
I got you. I got you.
What does it mean when you're freezing after you eat?
Don't know.
It means you're dead, dog.
I know what it means when you heat up. I love that. I love that the body's going. Here's a good one. Ready for this one? Let's go a little trick or treat. Trick or treat. I'll go with the trick.
Okay.
Look at this one.
Does Botox hurt?
Hello, miss.
I say no.
Can you say that question, those beta? I would say no.
Just want to say thanks for the motivation. Recently had my artery cut by a surgeon. Back lifting again.
Hey, great job back in it. What's up, babe? Oh, we are back in it.
What's the benefit of overhead press behind the neck?
You mean behind the neck press?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Range of motion for me, keeping the shoulders healthy and lubed, and keeping that range of motion. For me, I want to be an athlete as long as I can. And athletic just means that I can tussle, I can roll, I can play with my son, and any kind of sports I want. So that's what that does for me. It keeps me moving. It's like the same as deep squats, sumo deadlifts, anything like that where it's an extreme range of motion.
Should you work out when your body feels very sore, or should you rest and stretch?
Try one more time.
Should you work out when your body feels very sore, or should you rest and stretch?
Well, I'm assuming that you're not, and you say body, I would assume that it's the body part, not so much the entire body. If the entire body's sore, then you're probably going to be coming down with something or you're sick. But if there's a muscle soreness, sure, definitely train, 100% train. You're just training a different body part. You're not training the muscle that's sore. That muscle obviously is still recovering. So good job training that level. Nice job.
Straight up. I have a hernia and have been asked not to lift. Any suggestions on how to not lose the gains I've built over the next 4 months?
Are you going to take care of the hernia? So that's, are you going to go in? Are you going to get it netted or whatever they do at this stage? Stimulation, weightlifting, helps you retain that muscle, right? Now you're not allowed to do that. So make sure just the nutrition is on point. And the great thing is, whatever muscle you do lose from not lifting, you'll get memory muscle. So you'll get it back so fast. So don't stress about it.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of the hernia, and don't go off of your family doctor. Go see a specialist. Your family doctor is just going to, think that you're like everybody else that doesn't have to lift. Most of society, mostly not LA, United States. But you're not one of those people. You want to go work out. So
LA, gas prices.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Mike?
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
Out of a 4-set workout, how many sets would you recommend I take to failure?
None.
Booyah. Tips for longevity to have a muscular and fit body.
We'll take the last question about a guy that wants to take 1 or 2 sets to failure instead of going in there and doing the rep range that you need for that day with the weights that you're doing. And think about what is the least amount of work, but still get better. So that would be the goal. It's not always about going in and just destroying your body every time. It's about stimulating the body. So that's one of the best things for longevity to understand. All right. And then just nutrition. Nutrition plays a huge role in it, the best you can. And then at the end of the day, I get that you want to go in and train like a beast and do, but leave a little in the tank, as you would say, so you can come back the next day and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But not only is that for longevity, that's actually just for you to be a champion and go win the universe or go win the California powerlifting or being able to tussle for 40 years and stuff. So
we kind of just answered this question. As a guy who's coming up on 50 years old, is it unsafe or safe to go and take each set to failure?
Yeah. I would have hoped by now, coming close to 50, that you would have figured that out at least on your own. So let's do this for everybody here. If you go in and train your body to a point of complete fatigue and failure on each set, what can you keep up? Can you keep up that every single day? And are you recovering every single day? If you can keep that up every single day, go for it. Have fun. Go ballistic every single workout.
Nobody thinks about that.
I can't keep that up every single day. I can make every workout really good. I can't do every workout to the wall, just balls to the wall every single workout. We get balls to the wall once every couple. What's that?
You're talking shit over there, Mike.
Yes, she is. I can do a balls to the wall once every 2 weeks. We definitely get one a month. But I think you guys are confused. I think you think that if you work out to a point where you're just a freaking animal, like I've talked about numerous times when I was 19, 20, it's great mentally. Man, I love it. I wish everybody would do it when you're young and you can recover. I wish everybody would do that. You have to get intelligent as time goes on. And I hate saying that because I still want you to be the biggest beast you possibly can in the gym. But at the end of the day, if you can't recover from it, right? If you can't recover from it, then you're doing too much, which is a great thing that you can find out for yourself. If you're training too hard, you can go get your blood work and it will also show you that if your body is not recovering and you're overtrained. So again, it's a stimulant. If you feel that you need to go balls to the wall every single time to stimulate your body,
And do it.
then do it. Yeah, go for it. I can't keep that pace up. I can't go to that level all the time. I can go about 70-80% on most workouts. I can't go 100%. And I rarely, if not just for like a week or two, have anybody that I train around the world go at 100%. I usually have them at 60 to 80 most of the time.
In good shape, turned 50 years old, aching more. How many days workout and what's your recovery time?
It's different for everybody. My recovery time is irrelevant to your recovery time. And it's, again, this is all circulated into what we've been talking about. Train as hard as you possibly can to where you know you can recover from it. And then every once in a while, get nasty, go off, but then take a couple days off after that. And you'll find out where your limits are and how much you can do and how much you can't do. So, and then there's times too. One of the best things I think is that there's that 3-month block. Each workout, it's a 3-month block. So is this 3 months, you're 60, 70%, and the next one, 70, 80%, and this next one, 80, and it's going to finish out at 90%? Is that what you're doing? I recover faster.
That's Clark.
Clark does recover faster than me, 100%. Anytime that you let me try this again. Clark does recover faster than me because he uses weights less than Mona. Oh, snap.
Ooh.
No, I will say, I'll guarantee
he's
Clark.
gonna come back and say,
He won't hop on right now.
He's gonna say,
I'll guarantee, but he won't jump on here.
You won't jump on
He
this,
won't
Clark.
jump on this live right now.
You don't get nasty.
I'll guarantee he recovers quicker than me. But see if you can send this guy a link.
We're having a little intermission, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
going to go put this on in celebration of Clark jumping on here.
Clark, let me know if you're around. If you're still there and you're ready to hop on. Otherwise, there's this guy in here, Darren Bobo, who keeps blowing up the chat.
Darren Bobo. Darren is alive?
Clark, I'm about to text you in 5 seconds.
Is Darren Bobo alive?
Bobo, did you mow the lawn?
In honor of Christmas. I just changed the eyes, didn't it? Sheesh. What up, everybody? Happy holidays. For you guys that don't know, that Christmas tree is going up. I already promised.
Sir, just putting it up this week?
That's one thing that I love to do.
You better be here tomorrow.
And by I love to do is I love when Mona does it.
Sex therapy for recovery?
100%. Oh, that's actually smart. So I love that you said that, because here's one thing that I think most people, the big typical question is most guys will go, hey, should I not nut and save that? Because what do they say?
Mm-hmm.
They basically say that if I nut, then I'm going to lose my gains. And if you nut, this one here was great. Leave that up there for a second, because so what the studies show is if you nut, your body produces more. And the more you nut, it keeps up with it and pushes it. So that's really actually what you would like to do. Then it's also just for us guys, it's better for our prostates. So for you guys out there that always say, should you? Should you not? Yeah, don't for you guys, but for everybody else, dude, get your nut. Well, don't get your nut. Give your nut. I guess in today's world, it's a combination of both. But yeah.
All right, let me go back up top again. Ooh,
Oh
we got
man,
Big Poppy in the house.
Big Poppy in the house. This is a man that probably recovers faster than us. And talking about nutting, this guy's he's a very sex therapist for recovery on.
That's what I recovered quickly from.
That's why you recover so quickly, isn't it?
Yep.
Look at you.
I went
Dang.
to the gym today and someone said, "Where is your costume?" I said, "I'm wearing it. I'm an anatomy chart."
Ooh. See what I'm saying about this, kids? So a guy today said something. You can pull this one here from it. No, leave it there for a second, just because I like to get Clark's point of view on this, because I know Clark is an advocate. I guess would be a good term. An advocate to unloading the gun.
Pumping the numbers.
Pumping the numbers. Yeah, pumping the numbers. I got rookie numbers everybody's got rookie numbers compared to this guy. That being said, do you ever get that question about guys going, "Hey, should I not nut because I'll lose my gains?"
Yeah, I don't know where that idea came from. I think it's the complete opposite of what is true. You know, we're designed a certain way, and we're going against that design if that's what they're doing, right? Like no nut November and all of these different things. Guys ask me, "Will my testosterone go down if I ejaculate a couple times a day?" And I'm like, "No, I believe it'll go up." That's just common sense thinking, right? Yeah,
It reproduces. It does that. So the more you do, the more it produces, and it stays up and it goes going. And again, we're talking about a guy who doesn't have to deal with ED or anything like that at 60, 61 years old, where most guys are dealing with that kind of issues, and they should take care of that issue early on in life, and also get those numbers up. Get that nut out.
Nut it out, man. It should be November nut month instead of no nut November.
How about just everyday nut month?
Yeah.
That being said, let's jump over to the next thing. I got you can pull this one off of here. I got a guy I guarantee it's his family doctor. And he says, "I'm 59 years old, 59. He's 215 pounds, and his testosterone was around 315. And I'm assuming he got it checked because of the fact that he's feeling a little tired and so on and so forth. And then also, I don't think a guy like that's going to follow a guy like you or a guy like me to be average. Mostly at 59, 59, 215 is a good sized guy that wants to, push it. And so my thought to him is, don't talk to a family doctor about this. Talk to somebody, right? Because the family doctor was like, "Oh, you're within range," and it's like, wow, you're 59.
Yeah, they're going to say you're fine. They're going to say the range, right? And the range is so big, right? It's from 300 to 1100, and it depends, to your point, how you feel at any number. Because you've made mention of this before, that your testosterone levels were not super high, but that didn't affect the way you felt, the way
I'm
you
not
performed.
lazy. I don't feel sluggish. I'm not weak. I'm not. And so when this guy said that, I said, next time, take a picture of Clark Bartram and Robbie Robinson to the doctor. And when he says, "Don't worry, for your age, your average, this is fine," and go, "Okay, this is what I want to be. I don't want to be an American average guy at 59. Because think about that.
That's the problem with our country, in all honesty. It's people wanting average. Like this shirt, just oddly enough, I'm wearing it. My buddy Michael Chrysler made hero dad bod, right? So this dad bod concept has been accepted, but he's like, "No, I'm going to create a hero dad bod." What is that? That's a dad bod that looks like a superhero. We talk about this all the time. And that's what we should be representing to our young sons. You've got a young son running around there. You talked about it later. The beneficiary of your genetic potential and Mona's together is going to be Titan. When he's 6'7", 290, jacked, athletically superior to everybody else, because the genetic potential combined with the early training and being around champions, you put together the pieces of this puzzle that are just, it's mind-blowing to think what the potential is of a human put in that environment, right? Waking up to get the milk and doing these things that you're very aware of and scheduling and all of that. Other people would go, oh my God, I can't believe you wake your son up in the middle of the night and give him milk. It's like, well, then don't believe it. I don't care. I know what I'm doing based upon my understanding of what is possible. We think outside the box.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We don't want to be these average, but we want to be the 1%ers. And something I think is hilarious is that I know how much an influence it was for me to be around the greatest powerlifters in the world with the mindset, the ignorant bliss of a mindset of me thinking these were average people. So for me, the 900 deadlift was average. The 600 bench back in 79, 82, 83, in those ranges, that a 600 was nothing. This is the average guys. So I was happy but ignorant to these were the greatest in the world. So what did it do for me? Well, it gave me a different mark than the guy that goes to the gym and sees a guy bench at Family Fitness Center 315. Oh my gosh, that's freaky. I remember being 13 years old too. Titan today, because of you and how Mona walks around, goes, Daddy, you're fat. Didn't you?
Hey,
Didn't you
bud.
say that?
What's that?
Didn't you say that?
Say hi, Uncle Clark.
Say hi.
Hey, bud. I love you, Titan. Teo Best.
Say to your best.
Hey, Max.
No,
Look
this
at
is
you.
not his
Get ready to go
Halloween.
roll.
This is not his Halloween costume. We're going to jiu-jitsu.
There you go.
This is a real costume, right?
Oh, peanut.
He's a peanut. He's a peanut head.
Nothing but a peanut.
Peanut.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Hey, give him a double bicep. Give him a bicep.
butter.
Look at that.
Peanut butter.
And jelly.
Jelly. I remember that song.
Okay.
That's a Barney song.
All right. See. So he called me fat because you walking around, Mona, always like, I love that. I love that aspect that this to him is not ripped. This is not in shape. So again, for you and me, I think thinking outside, and Ken Griffey Jr. said it the best to me when he said, by 14 years old, I know what the conversation was and what it took to be a pro athlete. At 14, at our dinner table that he was talking about, he had his dinner table, he had his dad plus teammates of his dad. And he goes, I knew 100%. And then like 3, how old was he when he turned pro? Ken Griffey Jr. Was he 17 or 18?
He was a teenager still.
I know he was a teenager.
Yeah.
So you went pro in 87?
87.
19.
He was 19.
Well, that's when he made his major league baseball
debut. So, again, one of the greatest, legend, Hall of Famer,
19.
and all that.
Daddy,
played
you're
with-
ugly, poopy.
What?
That's
See,
fair.
Perspective. It's perspective. He's seeing me on the screen and you, and he's like, Daddy, you're ugly because
Yeah,
now there's
no,
standard.
fully understand. I got the pretty boy, the real Batman. Yeah, it's perspective. I love the houses that way, and well, anyways, you get it, you understand.
Yeah.
And again, for anybody listening, potential means nothing. Just so you understand, the potential is a fancy word for nothing. It has to come from that individual. So, and how many people, let me ask you this, how many people who had the greatest potential, greatest genetics, did nothing relative to the guy that just stayed with it and put in the work?
Yeah. It goes back to the whole genetic conversation too. People will always say, oh, your genetics are great, Clark. I won't disagree with that. Like, I got hair, my skin is good. I'm not the tallest guy ever. I got kind of robbed in that area, but
You make
even
up
with
for
the-
it down here, though.
yeah, even with the good genetics, if I would have chose a different lifestyle path at the age of 17 when I chose the Marine Corps and not the steel mill, right? Had I chosen the steel mill, those are all great, hardworking, salt of the earth people,
Savage.
and I appreciate it. But I would not be the same version of myself that I am today. So for people to blame it on genetics is they're missing it. I would say it's 20% genetics and 80% the lifestyle that I created. And you say it all the time. I have set myself up so, and then fill in the blank, so I can go anywhere I want, do anything I want, have a house here. We set ourselves up all of those years to be sitting in the bodies that we're sitting in today, not resting on any of that, still putting in the work. And you are right. I do lift like Mona lifts, but you know what I've learned about myself is I have this really unique ability to get the most out of the least. And that is my goal in life. I want to get the most reward out of the least amount of work. I really do. I don't want to spend 2 hours in the gym. I want to go in there and like just isolate it and get it done and just do things, man, and then I'm connecting with my body and I know when I got what I needed to get. And then I'll go an extra mile, jump on and do the cardio. That's what gives the dialed in look. I mean, I'm shooting a cover. I just verified it. I'm shooting a cover at the age of 61, like an actual physical magazine cover, like old school that doesn't exist anymore. I will be on another. Why? Because of this conversation.
And you said it, and I think somebody that we both think is brilliant, Arthur Jones. And it was one of the first things written. I don't know why this is so overlooked. The gym is about the least amount of work you can do, but still get better. Why is that? And again, I fully understand when I was a teenager and in my 20s, I overran that and thinking, no, I'm going to be the one that can outwork everybody. Who am I outworking? You can only outwork yourself. But for us right now to go, hey, everybody out there, listen to what Clark just said. It's the least amount of work, but still get better. Doesn't mean don't do the work. It means be so intelligent in your chess match that you can get the guy in checkmate in 5 moves instead of taking 3 hours to do it.
Yeah. You know, I think of Robbie the day that we all trained together and he was doing a pull down and he really, really got into the rep and squeezed everything. And every time I do back, I get that same thought in my mind. My back is so sore today from my workout yesterday because I sat there and pictured him, remembered what he said, did it myself. I could even do it right now with no weight.
I can see that you see it in your mind and
Yes.
you're back in the gym right now.
Yeah, I can do it with no weights. And if I do 5 reps like that, they're just like, boom. And I walk off and feel like this, knowing that I got what I needed to, or shoot a video of my back and it's like, oh, snap. It looks like I have abs in my back. Why? And that goes back to this whole proximity thing that we started off with, being around certain people. That's why I love you bringing, I mean, imagine the amount of brilliance that is sat in that room that you're in right now. The information that's been shared across that table that flies over a lot of people's heads because they're only looking for what they're looking for. And they want to write off what is the most basic stuff that will make the biggest change in their life. I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody about these young kids that are just doing so much gear, whatever in the hell they call it. They're bragging about how much stuff they're injecting into their bodies and how much they're doing. It's almost like more is better now. When I say less is better, less is more. And, you know, to this day at 61, I do nothing.
Yeah. It's again, I want to make this clear that I referenced to this guy earlier today to take a picture of you. And Jeff can verify that was one of the statements I said to this guy about your doctor. And the reason I say that to this guy at 59 is because of the fact that you're around that age. I'm around that age. And in no way did we get here because we just started something last week? So how would you explain to the young that it has to start now?
Just that same exact statement. It has to start now. I was doing a live on TikTok. I was selling this little pulley, a cable, a tricep bar, and a rope. I was selling it on TikTok live. And I was explaining for $43.67, a 14-year-old kid, male or female, that's going into wrestling starting right now, that's going into wrestling practice, that doesn't have any money, that might not be able to get to the gym, could change his entire life with a pulley, a handle, and a weight. Something so caveman-esque that I started at 14 with something so basic, a bull worker. I have the exact bull worker in my garage that I used. You push it, you pull it. That was what set the foundation for me. It wasn't fancy, but what it did was set me on a path. I saw like, oh, wow. People saw it, and then they spoke into my life. So for any young person listening to me right now, don't be like your buddies, man. Set yourself apart. Be weird. Be peculiar. Be the guy that's eating out of a Tupperware when they're eating out of a Cheeto bag. Be the guy that doesn't show up to the party on Friday night and sits at home and goes to sleep. You know the amount of times I went to sleep when everybody else was out partying? I'm going to bed, bro. I have to train in the morning. I got a photo shoot tomorrow. Why do you have a photo shoot? Because I did all that stuff. I set it up, and it didn't happen instantly. So we have to be very smart in how we approach these things, but sometimes you get cast out as the weirdo. I didn't go to the desert. I didn't ride four-wheelers. I didn't ski. I didn't do any of that stuff with my friends. It all looked fun, but I didn't want to twist an ankle, break a knee, or do any of that because I knew I needed to do this, and it has paid off. We have never had a job.
It's the truth. Absolute truth.
Let's bang out some of these. Let's do a little rapid fire action on some of these questions. Yeah.
I'm going to use the girls' room. Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
Clark, I'm having a hard time building a chest. Any tips?
Yeah, just keep going. You're going to build. You're building each time you lift a weight. You might not be seeing it as quickly as you want to see it, but your body is responding to the challenges that you're placing it under. So you have to look at what you're doing. Maybe you don't need to lift heavier. Maybe you need to slow down your tempo. Maybe you need to change the angles up a little bit. I did something the other day with 25 pounds on each side. I did 5 reps. I call it the 5 by 5 by 5. I came down for a count of 5, and I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down nice and slow. My chest, Jeff, hurt so bad the next day, but it was 25 pounds on each side. People in the gym were looking at me, and by the time I got to the 5th set, the 5th rep, I thought I was going to have to call for a spot because it was done. I was so connected, and I was so there. So listen, whoever it was that asked that question, was it Henry? Is it Henry?
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah. Bro, you are building. Your body is the most adaptive organism on the known universe. It will adapt to the demands that you place on it. And the demands don't always need to be heavier. They don't. Where'd Jeff go? I like Jeff in there.
Jeff just jumped out, man.
Giving Mike a little. I'm still here.
We like you in the middle.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a 16-day trip and I won't be able to train in a gym. Will I lose too much muscle?
No.
Yeah. No. You stay on your diet.
Absolutely.
Stay on your diet. And whatever you think you do lose, you're going to gain back so fast. Memory muscle. It's a beautiful thing. But then also at the same time, would you not go on any trip ever because you lose a couple pounds? If you're me, you probably would.
Mike doesn't leave the house. Me and Mike have 2 different stories here. But look, if you do slow push-ups, every hotel gym has some dumbbells at least, even if they're mismatched. That's kind of the thing these days. You got a 25 here and a 30 here. Switch them around. There's always an answer to those questions because I deal with high-level executives and they're traveling all the time on their own jets and they're going to different places. I've heard everything. And to Mike's point, even if you lose a little bit of ground, I don't think you'll lose anything. You probably won't gain anything, but I doubt you will lose anything. It's really all right here. We convince ourselves that something happened and it didn't.
That is the truth. That is one of the biggest things. The mind is such a destructive. Yeah, if you don't control it, go for it.
Are T-bar rows and deadlifts the best exercises for the back?
I think all exercises are great for the back. I think when you guys start going, is it the best exercises for the back? You lost the understanding of weightlifting. You lost it. As soon as you go deadlifts beat pull-ups. No, you can do both. They're both great. And they both do different things. You need everything.
I was doing T-bar rows yesterday with a 25. I had 125 to start and then another one. But listen, man, when I get in there, you need to understand you can make any exercise the best exercise. It really comes down to you. Here's the problem. I posted yesterday, science means nothing. So someone comes along and says reverse grips pull down with an EMG shows the most activity in your back. Well, that would lead you to believe that if you're not doing that, then you're not getting gains. Back to Mike's point about mindset. Science means nothing. So someone could pull out some data about an exercise that they say is the best, and it literally means nothing to the person that's not committed to the process of consistency in lifting weights. So it could be a single dumbbell, it could be a pull down, a pull up, a bent over row. The point that I have about deadlifts is the risk reward ratio. You need to be careful with deadlifts on the risk reward ratio. If you're trying to go too heavy, there is a potential for the risk of hurting yourself just because of the dynamics of the deadlift and how the leverage and everything works. Even professional powerlifters who deadlifted for a living that would die by the deadlift are now saying, I'm not sure of the risk reward ratio here. So I tend to go to a hex bar deadlift where Mike and Mona and Jeff all do a traditional deadlift because they know exactly how to put their body in position to not injure themselves, even with heavy weights.
Love it.
It's good information.
I wouldn't say that though. I put myself in a perfect position not to get injured.
Well, sometimes you do it on purpose to stay injury free. Yeah, I know how your mind.
Yeah,
goes.
I just so you guys understand, I understand risk versus reward, but like Arthur Jones, we talked about earlier, squatting and having the stress on the body and any of these things, you can hurt yourself. How many people hurt themselves bench pressing or doing bicep curls? There's a risk in everything. And like he said, the percentage is bigger there. I just want you guys living. And like he said, if you're not that kind of guy that wants to do that, the hex bar is a great thing. Any exercise that you want to try to protect yourself even more so, protect yourself. Do your thing. Keep the idea that life ain't fair, though. So if you the way you eat, and so you're going to be fine no matter what, life doesn't work that way. You can train your whole life. Again, life doesn't work that way. There's people in jail that eat 2 bologna sandwiches a day and doesn't get any exercise. They still pass the average life expectancy. Can't even say it. Life ain't fair that way. So just kind of pick and choose what you want to do at the end of the day. So back to your exercise. I love deadlifts. Yes. Mostly for the emotional and mental part of it. And like he said, he does hex bar, which I think is a freaking great exercise. Great exercise for you guys. Anybody out there that has a back that's tweaked or you're worried about your back, Hex Bar. Get back to it and start using that thing. It's an amazing piece of equipment, I think, for so many people.
What about this? Good day, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting and fasted workouts?
Anybody young, I don't think. And what's the purpose for it for you? Is the purpose health reasons? Is that why you're doing it? Are you trying to get in shape doing that? What is the purpose of it? It's like anything. Why are you weightlifting? Well, hopefully it's bone density and the things that your friends are going, no, I just want to get muscular. I hope muscular is third or fourth on that list. And so I hope fasting, using fasting to get in shape is third or fourth on that list.
So with me, I think marketing is a big thing in the world that we live in. Everybody's marketing to you. And the idea of intermittent fasting has been marketed to people in a way that has us forgetting that by nature of being a human being, we intermittently fast on a regular basis. But it's all framing and how we look at it. So if I took the idea of, oh, I woke up late and I didn't get to eat, and then I worked all day and all I had was a cup of coffee, and then I got home late and I ate a bunch of food and I went to sleep, and you had a negative mindset about that, then now it's like, oh, you're not eating your 3 meals and getting your snacks and eating like a bodybuilder. But somebody came along and marketed intermittent fasting as a way to get cognitive function, as a way to get ripped, as a way to get into cellular apoptosis or apoptosis and all this sort of stuff. So now, because we look at it like, oh, so-and-so said he got smarter and so-and-so said he got leaner because he ate in a window. Well, it's the exact same thing. So I don't think it's good or bad. Just like Mike said, I think whatever it is that you do, you have to set an intention to do it exactly the way it's set out to do. Then that adds discipline. Then that might add the apoptosis and all of the cellular flushing and all of that sort of stuff that they're saying the benefits are, right? It's the discipline and the consistency that is the thread line in all of this. And you're looking at two guys.
Just not the fasting. He's saying all of it. The lifting, the type of lifting, the cardio, the kind of cardio, the sleep, the kind of sleep. Oh, I have, I don't know. I have my beet juice. Great. Always. It's like, it's to the minute thing he's talking about. Consistent. Clarky. Well said, my brother. Well said.
I appreciate it, man.
Oh, my girlfriend's pregnant, wants to carry on training. What workout plan was Mo on at the time? Also, is there a meal/workout plan for this in the crew?
100%. And Mona has a pregnancy 12-week workout plan available over. Click her link and you will find that. We should get that over on my platform so they have that access to it. Also, watch our YouTube talking about feeding. I know she's pregnant now.
Oh, there's a playlist.
Yeah. So just FYI, there is a playlist on how we fed Mona during the pregnancy and prior even. We set her up so she was the perfect incubator for this little metahuman. So I was lucky enough to have a baby mama that was 100% focused on the child, not her appearance or what she will have to deal with. So I got lucky on that. I mean, I wish every guy would have that partner in crime, that it was about the kid. It wasn't about her taste buds, about, oh no, I'm getting fat, I'm getting too heavy. It was always solely about the child and how to feed her for the child. So yeah, congratulations. Congratulations.
And I witnessed all of that, all of what Mike is saying. I saw it, and Mona was absolutely blinders on, locked in, and that continues on through now. It's so refreshing to see this way of living. And Jeff, did you get the idea for the shirt that I told Mike Mo knows? Remember the old Bonos? We need to make the Monos shirt.
Oh, nice
No.
play on that.
Yeah.
And I have a shirt that's like Clark's. Mine's a little bit more toxic though.
Mhm.
So Clark's got the hero dad bod, right?
Yeah.
Flare that. There we go. There we go. And I have the F dad bod.
No, I got that. I wore it the other day and someone looked at me. And do you ever wear a shirt sometimes and forget that you put that shirt on and people look at you like, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, the shirt. One person took offense. Everybody else loved it. I love that. The best one is the F Michael Hearn shirt, though. That one's epic.
Well, we're going to send you down one. It says, what is it? I'm fat, but I identify as skinny. Trans slender.
Trans slender.
And then I got another one that says, I'm fat, but only because every time I do something to your mom, she makes me a sandwich. So, real politically correct.
Getting real in the streets. What other questions we got? These are good questions. You got a good group of
What are
people here, Mike.
What are your thoughts on calisthenics?
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, Clark loves it.
I'm a Marine, man. You know, I came up on calisthenics, mountain climbers, side straddle hops, otherwise known as jumping jacks, just all sorts of stuff that I know for sure works. You know, harkens back to Jack LaLanne being on TV with his dog Lucky, and she had a chair, a dog in the ground. And Jack had one of the greatest physiques of all time, all the way up until the day he died at 96 years old. And I blew up on TikTok with something called 3 Moves, 3 Minutes, where I do 3 exercises for 1 minute each. And I always say, do what you can the best you can if you can't do this for 1 minute. And I was really happy last night where I saw a lady, and she was probably 100 pounds overweight. And I saw the tag, and I clicked on the video. And it was this lady doing her best. She was doing what she could, the best she could. And she set her little clock for 3 minutes, and she kept talking about Clark says to do this. And it just warmed my heart so much to see that the world that we live in, all of the people that we operate around would throw shade at me. Or you mean you tell me, Clark, people can get in shape in 3 minutes doing a jumping jack?
Right.
Absolutely, you dummy. You know what I mean? These people make me sick, man. These people that act like they know everything.
Yeah, it's there's a great quote. The more intelligent you become, the less you want to communicate and talk to people. And there's unfortunately a level of health and fitness that you have lived. Not you've lived health and fitness. You've lived it at a pinnacle level that so few in the entire 8 billion, or what is it, 7.5 billion or 8 billion people just now, but decades for hundreds of years have lived at the level that you've lived at. And so there's such a knowledge behind you that it's got to be frustrating for you to see the 26-year-old saying, hey, this is how you get a great butt. Okay, you're 26. Yeah, thank mom and dad for it and shut up. I fully understand that concept, though. But again, you're right. I'm proud of the lady that did that, watched your stuff, and comprehended it. So props to you, my brother. Yeah, put it into action.
I live for those moments, and I'm so far removed from the bodybuilding world. Oddly enough, I'm going to kind of make a little entry back into it, not competing. I'm connecting with the INBA because I really want to push people to understand that it's possible to build a body naturally. It's possible to build a body without sacrificing health. And Denny Kakos, as you know, has been doing it great for a long time. And since I'm going to be on the cover of Iron Man, we kind of are connecting here on a level that I've never thought I would after all these years. And it's because I see people at the gym hurting themselves and doing things. I saw a guy today that you could tell he's just, loaded up on a bunch of stuff, but the physique didn't match up. And it hurts me to watch, man, because I know it's short-lived. And for what? Like, for what? So anyway, I know that wasn't a question. But
To answer this question, I think calisthenics, I guess I do an odd form of calisthenics, I guess, in a sense. I wrestle and do jujitsu.
Yeah, I mean,
So I do move and groove in a very aggressive, fast motion with rotations of all positions. And the only reason I can still do that is because of the style of lifting I've been able to do, that the joints are healthy enough that I can still get out and roll and do that stuff. And if, again, I think calisthenics are a great thing. Get out, and it doesn't have to be just calisthenics. You could go play, everybody's playing paddle tennis now after the studies came out. Everybody's playing some type of tennis. I'll do ping pong. But yeah, get out there, get moving, play some basketball, get out with the kids, have some fun, do it. Clark gets out on the football field with the school, man, with these athletes and stuff, and dusts them.
doink.
So, ding dong.
Doink. Mike, are you doing pure wrestling right now? Or are you
Yeah.
just pure wrestling with wrestling?
Pure wrestling and jiu-jitsu at another location. Yeah.
How fun is that, man? I got on the mat a while back with Russell Brunson, and it was just, I might even go back over to the high school here. I know the wrestling coach, and just if time permits, right? And just get on the mat and just do that, because that's what all this weightlifting is for. It's to be functional in the world. It's to be able to turn this way and do that without throwing your back out.
Yeah, and it's also just nice to compete against a guy in that
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great stuff. It's great. And it's so cool to see that Mona jumped in now and is learning. So it's cool to see that, and it's cool to see her out there doing it. I think it's a badass thing. She's already a strong woman, and just adding this to the repertoire, because she's learning. She's naming off things and this and that from the sideline as she's yelling at Titan. She's a great mother. She's funny. Aggressive on the sidelines, though.
Oh, yeah. I saw one video and I was like, settle down, Mom. You're going to have a heart attack. Jeez.
No, that's it. The wrestling coach goes, he's 5. Please. He's 5. Relax.
I see
want to
Titan's
gut
move
wrench
being
the guy.
a hip toss.
Go for it, Clark.
I'm 36 years old now, and I'm in the worst shape I've ever been in. How do I get motivated again, and should I get blood work done?
Yes, on the blood work, and motivation is useless. You got to get committed, bud. F motivation. If this isn't encouraging enough to you right now, nothing will be. You have literally 2 of the best on the planet speaking directly to you, answering your questions, saying, get your blood work done for sure. Mike's got a way to get it done for you. If you don't connect with him right now and give Jeff your information and commit to getting the blood work done with Mike, you're not serious about this. I'm just keeping it real. The coach is now coming out in me. Commit to that today, and then also commit to Mike's power bodybuilding program, or whatever one he thinks is right for you at this stage, at the worst stage of your life. We don't know what that is, because we don't know what the best shape was. So it could be for you. You might only have 4 abs instead of 6. We don't know. But that is what a good coach is going to do. Assess your situation, look at your blood, look under the hood, determine where the nutrient gaps are, fill them in with the right supplementation, get you on a course. Mike will get your nutrition dialed in right away. And then the training, then he'll have you check in and hold yourself accountable. Look, you opened your mouth. So now it's time for you to frickin' man up.
I don't need to say anything about the training, the blood work. Blood work's always good for anybody here. Just to know what you're at. Do it through like Titan Medical. Do it through that, not your family doctor, because they also can't read the program correctly for anybody that's watching this. You guys are second level. Again, he said something about motivation, and Clark says, dump motivation. Yeah. You try to find something, and it could be discuss with yourself. It could be anything. But if you're looking for motivation hasn't kept Clark doing this since he was 14, especially on the hard days. So try to find
a why
meaningful.
that will make you cry.
Yeah, find something. Just sit down by yourself and find something that's so meaningful to you, or or are you just sick of being out of shape? But it has to be, yeah, powerful.
Mike's a little bit nicer about it than I am. I deal with guys every single day, and I understand the roadblocks that we create for ourselves to get through. So I come in hot because my job after hearing that is to make sure that you take action. And when you take action, then you're in good hands here with Mike, literally the best on the planet. So you're going to be good, bro. You're going to be good.
Where's this one? This is a question that, Mike, you answered this one earlier, but I want to hear
Clark's point of view on
I want to hear
this.
Clark's take on this. Would you recommend I try to go to failure as I get older, or should I knock back the reps so I'm not going to failure?
Well, I would change the word from failure to exhaustion, or getting everything you need out of that particular movement. And to a degree, yes. When you think of failure, you think of the weight dropping on your chest. That becomes a safety issue. But if you think of getting blood to the muscle, the whole goal behind lifting weights is to get blood to the muscle. So if you're getting blood in that muscle effectively just by doing this, it wouldn't require that it is pushing yourself so hard that you're almost dropping the weight. So it really is an individual thing, in my opinion, what exhaustion or failure or to completion or whatever words you want to use to just say, hey, I really felt that. I got the most out of it. Today, I was on a incline machine. I just sat on it. I got on it. There was 45-pound plates. I closed my eyes. I got in here, and I have the ability. This is what I did. I got like under the muscle in my mind. I was underneath it, and I'm pushing from underneath, and I felt it exactly where I wanted it. And I didn't end like that. I ended like, yeah. So there's a difference. I think the world in society has made it like, if you don't drop it, that's not failure. But I would challenge anyone to see me and say, bro, you're not lifting right. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? Did you see my Instagram post today? Come on, So hopefully you understand where it is I'm coming from with that, because failure is not sustainable. What I do is sustainable. That's vital.
I agree.
Lifting from under the chest, I'm going to need to study an electromagnetic test to back that
literature
up
on this to see if that's true, and if you can.
It ain't true for anyone but me. I can promise you that.
Where the
and I don't need to try and
location
justify it to any bro science guy that's going to say, Clark, how's that possible? You're leading people down the wrong road. Shut up.
So it's always goes back to I love the videos of Robbie and Arnold talking about it, because you got the internet idiots saying, oh, this is what it is, and the studies, great. I'm glad that you studied that and you can regurgitate it. That's an impressive skill to be able to remember that stuff, knowing that you've never applied it to your own biceps and your biceps show that. And then you got Arnold prior to all this stuff and Robbie, and Arnold's in there. And I saw this right after the guy goes, there's no reason to do this, and pressure from here to here doesn't change the bicep connection or this or that. And I'm like, cool. All right, go enjoy yourself. And then there's Arnold going, oh, no, what I did is I knew it was harder to pull that in. And when I peaked it and flexed my bicep, I knew that if I can get the pinky into a location. So I took the dumbbells and started lifting the dumbbells like that with the pinky and rotating it. And I'm like, I'm good. There's my science.
Yeah.
It's my science. I know what Arnold's and Robbie's look like, and I know how my arms changed training with Lou and Arnold and Robbie over the times compared to these guys that go, no, I read the study. Great. I lived the study. So thank you for your study.
Living it still.
Jump back for a second, because the form is a funny thing. You know that I'm a master on form and believe that the majority of the time keep that form pretty. So one of these Instagram idiots put up a post with, but he used AJ Ferrari for an example, because AJ's form in this particular shoulder exercise to the bodybuilder or powerlifter was not the prettiest thing. And so he goes, is this beneficial and this and that? And I'm sitting there going, the realm of this guy that's lifting, life, the mountain he is on relative to this guy that's talking. The guy that's talking will make himself known because he's articulate and it's great. And he's using somebody that's doing not the prettiest form. So he'll build up a social media and he'll be famous for that. But AJ's in the arena. He's a D1 national champ at the most savage 197 weight class. And I know him. And so these coaches talk about 50% of people, if you show up to practice, right, you already beat 50% of the people. You show up with the right attitude, you beat the next 40% of the people. The last 10 is a dogfight. That's just freaking ugly. And then that's it. That's the last 10% is the dogfight. And I'm sitting there watching this guy critique his form. Now, if you ask me, is the form great? No. Should you do it? Should you do it? You people? No. But don't say nothing about that guy doing it. That guy's in his world with the 1% of society, barely, not even 1% of society, and he's doing something not just for the physical and the strength, but the mental, just to move that weight. I don't care if it's pretty. I don't care. I can be ugly, because when you get in the wrestling match in the third round and you're the division champion at that weight class, that's some ugly fighting. And so I just thought it was interesting. We talk about form, and a lot of this is mental approach. Is the weightlifting for you? I know for you and me, we do a lot of this stuff because we love it mentally. So sometimes it gets ugly. Doesn't mean you have people out there have to do it, but don't judge it unless you know that person.
I remember years ago, Rick Schaff wrote an article about you. Michael Hearn gets ugly. And it was you deadlifting like super heavy weight, right? And it is true. You put yourself in positions, awkward positions on purpose in a lift of weight intentionally. Like that is by design. So everything I do is by design. Even today, like lifting under here and knowing like I was coming from a different place. And what happens to me, and you can see it every time I do this, I shut everything out. And I'm in this world by myself. And sometimes I even open my eyes like, oh shit, I'm in the gym. Because I go to a place with freaking 20 pounds on the bar, right? That gets me the detail that I want. My goal is I don't want to be 225 pounds. I've been a steady 185 forever. I'm happy like that. I look good like that. I'm pretty regular in clothes. I pop the top. It's like, oh shit. I can shoot a magazine cover. I can play football. I can wrestle. I could run, jump, play. I could do all of these things as a highly functioning human being because I understand leverage. I understand positioning and integration and how the body's meant to work together, where you got these guys on the internet critiquing someone. I've seen them before. And it's like, dude, this is so out of context. It's unbelievable. And for the person who understands what we're looking at, you're really dumb, dude. You're only trying to get likes and clicks, which I get. That's what we're all doing.
It works.
But boy, oh boy, are you ignorant.
Yeah. Like you said, it's so out of context. And yeah, I was laughing to myself going, you're an absolute idiot. I had to block his page because I was just like, you're so dumb that you chose one of the baddest humans walking the planet.
I think I know who you're talking about. And I almost commented on a post the other day where he pulled up somebody and said, I know for sure that this person is on X. And I'm like, you know nothing for sure. One thing I know for sure is how stupid you are by making that statement, because you don't know anything. And for us, going back to what we started with, being surrounded by the high achieving humans that we're surrounded
Adi
by.
Ray.
Yeah,
Tito.
looking at this person that he was saying he knows is on some sort of drug, I'm like, this guy's average at best. I look better than he does, and he's half my age. What kind of perspective are you coming from, bro? And you
Think
call
about Adi
yourself a
Ray.
bodybuilder?
Think about Adi Ray when he pulled out that hamstring glute tie-in and the striated glutes. There's not an influencer in the world that would not just cry talking about this guy is so juiced up. And what's great is that 30 years easily, 30 years later, he looks the same. Oh, that's because of growth hormone and stuff. Wait a minute. So you're telling me you can do a high dose now and it's not bad for you? I thought it was the opposite, guys. I thought you guys were complaining that this stuff is bad for you. But I guess there's guys that can do it for 30, 40 years. Okay, cool. Make up your minds.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's like you've been around such phenomenons that, yeah, these guys are just going to try to make stories up about everybody. But
Yeah, well,
at
me
the end of
and
the
Adi
day,
Ray go back to 95 in the Muscle Mania, and we're both still maintaining the level of muscularity and definition and proportion.
think about all the guys that were in that show.
They're
I think
gone.
Stan McQuay was there.
Yeah.
Was
Oh.
Tito in that one? I think Tito was there. Was he not?
Tito was there, yeah. Tito may not have been 95. I think Tito came in 97.
No, he was no. He was definitely, because I started training with him in 94.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, then he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember Tito, me and him backstage, and I always tell the story, but he lifted up his arm.
I know this for a fact because 93, 94, because he'd be calling me at 2 a.m. out with some girl I was seeing somewhere. Yeah. The young Tito. He was
Kenneth Etta, Audie Ray,
Tito.
Clark Bartram, Stephen John Marie, Anthony Randall,
wow, what a
Ray
lineup.
Acosto, Delino Dixon, Ernie
Hold on.
Jr.
Read this again.
So we got the heavyweights: Ray Acosta, Delano Dixon, Ernie Richard Jr.,
Ernie.
Marcus Reinhardt, Scott Rich. The light heavyweights: Kenneth Etta, Audie Rai, Clark Bartram, Stephen John Marie, Anthony Randall. The
Dude, that
middleweight.
lineup, the top three in that lineup were stupid. Kenneth Etta, no one ever talks about that guy. What a freak of nature that dude was. Still is today.
Where was Tito?
This I am looking at. What am I looking at? 95 Muscle Mania.
Yes, it might have been the year before.
Tito might not be in this one.
I saw one with Clark and Tito on stage next to each other, and Tito didn't shave his armpits.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Tito,
Get out of there.
oh, sheesh. All right, one more question for this stud.
Where's the one about the kid? That one was pretty good.
I hope your audience really appreciates where we're going with this, with the intention of helping them think differently than the masses, because the masses, in my opinion, have been led astray with all of what we've referenced: the science, the sticking to certain splits and reps and like ranges, and like, it's just, our body is so much more capable than all of that is allowing us to be. Certainly, you got to tap into that. You got to learn that. You got to go through your season of that. But eventually, you'll come out the other side having gained all that knowledge and applying, taking the fish and leaving the bones, and forging your own way in this thing.
Are you okay that they don't?
Right way.
Are you okay that they don't?
Yeah, because I didn't at one point. I get it. I was a hardhead, and I was just thinking today, I hired a coach, a business coach, and he said, hey.
Stay with this for a second, though, before you go, because I know you care, and I know you care about humans, and I know that you care about people that want to get in shape. And if anybody's watching this and doesn't know Clark and his heart, there's a reason why he's my chosen godfather to my son. But I know it eats you up when you're going, I'm giving you gems that could help you live a life that you don't see, but I see it for you. And it's a tough thing when they just go, nah. Even though they're looking right at you and go, wait a minute, I got a guy 60, 61 years old that looks like a Greek god. I'm sorry, that has a better body than the Michelangelo statue. And I'm not going to listen to you. Oh, but you are the age. You've done these ages that everybody on here is or has been at one time. So you've got this blueprint that you're just going, all I'm doing is handing you over what worked for me and all my clients through the years. And the majority here are going to go, nah, I just want the quick trick.
And you know, the reason, Mike, honestly, is because I don't have the size that warrants the respect that a lot of these kids are looking for. Because I'm not 225 and this monster that's bulging out of my shirt.
But you could be, so that can't be it.
Yeah,
If
I
you want
could
to go
be,
off
but I'm
season,
not. They don't know the history of me. But back to what you originally said about life not being fair and people go through things. I mean, I've been given this diagnosis. So I'm sitting here with all of this knowledge, all of this experience, and this new obstacle in my life where I'm going, listen to me, man, please. And that they're going like this because, oh, you're not as big as whoever the latest, Sam Sulek, whatever. That guy's going to be here and gone as fast as he showed up. It's just going to be another one of those things. And hopefully it's not a sad ending. But I'm talking talk about consistency. Magazines for every year, all year, this is, again, we've not had a job. This is what we do. And it's not like we're training 20 people a day. We're living off our brand. We're living off of our knowledge. We're living off of the hard work and the consistency. And so that does drive me nuts because I had it happen to me the other day in the gym. I had a girl get pissed at me because I said, listen, I was trying to explain to her something that I knew she was doing wrong. And I saw her get mad. I was on the Stairmaster and I just went and walked away. I'm like, okay, that's all I can do. I cannot help you. She's wasting her time. She'll never get anywhere with this. She's putting drugs in her body. She's doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm coming from a dad perspective. Like, please don't do this to yourself. For what? I can give you shortcuts. I can teach you how to get where you're going. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope. Okay, boom. Off the Stairmaster. I walked away. I'm done. At some point, I got to be done.
Don't throw pearls to swine, but let's do it anyways. Let's throw them out there. There's somebody out there. There's a kid out there that's going to remember this conversation and say, I remember when Clark Bartram said this. And that's all you can hope for at the end of the day.
Yeah. Be patient, man. Look, me and Mike today look better than we did at 50, 40, 30. I was looking at pictures. There's a picture of Mike hanging in my garage that was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago when the photo was taken. He looks way better than he did then. Way better than he did then. So this is a thing that you will just continue to get better. And the faster you try and rush it with things that aren't going to benefit you in the future, this is where the problem lies.
Musclemania 97.
97.
Clark and Tito.
Clark and Tito on stage together.
Yeah.
Oh, same year I won the universe. Okay. So he was right. 97 is when they competed against each other, but I know that he was out here already training with me.
That was the year they told me I didn't make the top 5 and I was walking out the door.
You're not in the top 5 and you got second.
Yeah, I'm like, what? What do you mean I'm not in the top 5?
Got his clothes on.
It was Ronnie Coleman, the other Ronnie Coleman. That's like, where's Clark?
Whatever happened to the other Ronnie Coleman?
I don't know, man.
He was a genetic freak.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, just think about all those guys at Muscle Mania and back then. It's just beautiful, crazy.
People don't understand that show was they're
Then,
yeah,
right?
unbelievable bodybuilders in that show, man.
It's basically, it was classic bodybuilding.
Yeah,
It was classic
Yep.
bodybuilding.
yeah.
You show that 95, 97 lineup. Woo!
Well, there's a 97 here.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You got the drip. Got the drip, man. You know he posed to Duran Duran.
Yeah, look, me and Mike got the same hairdo right now.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. Look at that. Freaking love it. Okay, here's a good one. Favorite book to read to motivate. Oh, he's going. That's a poster of a movie he did right back there, though. FYI.
Look at the binder on that thing. This book is the best book that I think any human can read.
Can you tell us the name of the book?
As a Man Thinketh by James Allen.
Thinketh.
I read this 200 times at least.
Is it also on app audio?
Yes, you can get it on audio. This was written around the turn of the century. It's public domain, so meaning it's free for anyone to put out there now. But I got this, and you can see. I mean, this was new when I got it, and I've worn it out, and I love this so much just because you could read one sentence in this thing, and it could. Right here, I'll just pop it open. Thought and purpose. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment.
That's social media right there.
Yeah.
They think it, and they'll put it on print, and they'll put it out there. Look at that. And also coming from somebody I respect right there. So that's a great compliment right there, Clarky.
Who is that?
You can't, man, Clark, is your eyesight worse than mine?
Man, I got I'm on my phone here. Yeah, so it is. Kind of.
All right. So definitely do an audio book of that.
Yeah.
You got one more question for this stud?
Mhm.
You got one more, Clarky, before you go?
Of course.
Let's see what we got. We got a bunch.
We got a big feed with Clark. Happy Halloween, kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. Today's Halloween. I'm going to a football game. Same to you. You guys gonna go out and get some candy after jiu-jitsu?
After jiu-jitsu, they're gonna come back, and then we're gonna go. I guess a couple blocks away, they shut down the streets.
Go where the rich people are.
Some big candy bars.
So he just FYI, since the start of school, one of the biggest concerns I had is will his nutrition change because of school? Now he's out of our capability of controlling, right? So Mona still packs his food throughout the day. And we've also talked to the teacher about him eating every 3 to 4 hours. And they've been great about it. And so he still eats just his 5 or 6 foods that he likes. But from day one, what he does, because they give lunches, is he brings it home every day. It is every day. Mom, here, lunch they gave me. You want it?
That's funny.
I'm like,
He's the only kid in kindergarten with icon meals.
yeah, he's like, she makes him just the best, and he has no issue with it. And so it's still lucky to this moment. We'll see how long it lasts, but right now we're, within the new year.
Working out with my 12-year-old son. Is that too young?
No,
Not even
close.
I started at 9 weightlifting. Before that, it was just wrestling and martial arts. But yeah, you'll check the internet for new studies. Because one of the things is, like when me and Clark were growing up, one of the things is, it's going to stunt your growth. You don't need to technically have him anything with the vertebrae, but training him. Train his ass. I got my kid on handstand push-ups, planks, on pull-ups. Get him training, swimming. There's other aspects than just weightlifting. right now. Get him moving and grooving, and he's doing it with you. Congrats.
Yeah,
Seriously. In today's world, a 12-year-old, congrats.
that's legit, bro. I love that, and we need more of that in this world. Men raising men, doing hard stuff, fun stuff, guy stuff. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise.
Yeah. Don't listen to the internet on that one.
I'm going to a football game with my son tonight. He's 29 years old, man. We're still hanging out, going to a game. He's going to go encourage this little freshman quarterback and get this kid fired up. They're 0-10, 0-9. So Mitch's going to go talk to him. And
why don't you suit up, dog?
yeah, I'd
Do
love
a
to.
little like a I don't know, slot receiver, man.
I'll crush those freshmen.
Oh my gosh. Every
Run
once in a
all those little
while, once in a
folks.
while, you come down that line, take out that D end,
Oh yeah.
ear hole him. But I guess ear holing's not legal anymore, right?
No, but you can still crack block someone like that. But yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my.
no helmet to helmet.
No, all right. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we love you, Clark. Have fun tonight, brother.
All right, brother. Love you too. Have fun.
And,
Trick or treat.
We start our gymnastics.
We started our gymnastics at 14 months. Gee,
See,
wow.
that's gold, because gymnastics is one of the first things I was like competitive at, because I was still doing that in, I guess it was junior high school, elementary is gymnastics before I really got my legs to grow, and then I was like, gymnastics was done. It's great though, gymnastics. Remember how our shoulders would rotate on? Did you ever do full like rings?
Mm-mm. I mean,
Man.
I've tried.
Yeah, the rotation of
around
our
on the
shoulders
rings.
on the rings, like the dislocates, and he can tell us if you watch a person doing dislocates on the rings, the rotation of the shoulders and stuff, people would be freaking out.
Nuts.
It's and I'm sitting there going, I was doing that stuff.
Do it today.
Gymnastics is great.
I
Gymnastics.
almost did an iron cross the other day. I got down about this far. I was at that Infinity Gym in Orange County. Doing
That's
Iron
tough,
Clark?
kid. Tough. That's congrats. I never got to be able to do that. I was never that strong to be able to do that, or the body was just too heavy.
Yeah, too heavy. I mean, it's easier when you're 5'8", 185 than,
Yeah, but you're still, remember, you're a tripod, so.
All right, my brother. This was fun.
18
Thank
months.
you. And hey, Titan crew, keep up the great work. You got a great coach. You got a great team around you. Jeffrey, I love you. You're the best. Keep it up. Peace.
Peace. Always good to have my boy in there. Bump up them numbers. Look at that. Bump up them numbers. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate that. Gymnastics by 14 months.
14 months.
That's freaking awesome.
right.
Any parent out there, I recommend wrestling and gymnastics. And what's funny is wrestling coaches recommend gymnastics as well. So just FYI.
All right, let me chop some stuff up.
Yeah, we're out, guys. Thanks, man. I'm just blocking a couple.
Get them out of here.